80. So bearish then. AM. Oh, just for the short term, yeah. Kind of looks like, I mean, if you really take it all morning, kind of looks like it's already a broken down flag. Reversal. Oh, Match. Match is Tinder. Match.com bought Tinder, or Tinder owns Match, or they're all together. Match and Tinder are one unit. I didn't. And they had ER. Okay. All right, let's see. Pull it up now. And we are live. Oh yeah, we're live. Okay, good. Jeez. Just slip a piece of paper underneath this. There we go. All right. Good morning, everybody out there, everywhere. Good morning. You're a dog trainer and post tips and tricks for anyone that wants to learn more. Oh, that's funny. We trade stocks. All right. How's everybody doing this morning out there? If you're interested in checking out our trading group, click the link in my bio and come on in. Check out the link in my bio. We got dog trainers, apparently, and all kinds of people in our group that trade stocks. But that's what we do here. We're stock trading, stock market. Where did that just go? And today is a very important day. The Federal Reserve is going to announce their rate hike. It is likely to be 75 basis points, which means 0.75%, and increasing their pressure on how much it costs to borrow money, essentially, and making it more difficult to borrow money. And that's probably going to get mortgage rates up into the into the middle 8% coming soon for home purchasing, for example, and will continue to fuel the real estate market decline. Now is a great time to get into U.S. Treasury bonds. Over the last 20 years, every 15, 20 years, it goes through a cycle. And now is a great time to get into U.S. Treasury bonds, like the 30-year. You can always trade it back in 6 months or a year or two. But if you have some decent amount of extra money just sitting around in savings, U.S. Treasury bonds will give you around 4 to 5% per year. And then if the market were to crash, the economy were to crash, or we were to go to war or something like that, if you do get those 30 years, the value of your bonds will double or more. Plus, after the Fed is done raising rates, it will start to lower rates. And it's already got that plan already forecasted. So in 1 to 2 years, rates will be back down to about 2%. And so your bonds will double then. So you put 100,000 in now, it'll be 200,000 in a year or two. If there's a war, if there's a market crash, it'll be a 200,000. You'll get that double out of it, and you're getting 5% per year on your money, 100% risk-free, outside of the nuclear apocalypse. And even then, your U.S. Treasury bonds might actually be worth money. So they might actually retain their value. So anyway, that's what's good lately. Now, the Fed will be raising their rates this morning, and if the Fed raises rates to 50 basis points, it would be a huge surprise. It would mean they're easing off the thrusters sooner than expected. We're highly expecting a 75 basis point rate hike today. This will be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If they raise it 50 basis points and not 75, that's really that would be a huge change in our understanding of what's going on, and it will likely cause the market to rally like mad from here on out, basically, for the next 6 months. That's very unlikely to happen. It is most likely going to be 75 basis points, and then we're just going to adjust the market depending on the texture of what the Fed says during the meeting after that at 2:30 or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the different things that are said will give us insight into whether or not it's going to be more prolonged, the rate hiking, or if we're going to ease off those thrusters, or some kind of a blend, and if there's new factors coming in. If it is 75 basis points, it is likely to at least release a lot of tension in the market, because that's what we've been expecting. And that tension release will cause the volatility to drop, and that volatility drop will cause a rise in the real estate market. I'm sorry, in the stock market. A rise in the stock market, even if it's a slow grind and choppy at first, it's likely to just slowly grind and rise for the next 1, 2, or 3 days for the rest of the week. And that is what has happened at every prior Fed rate hike decision announcement. And that's because of the release of the volatility, really. Even if the market's going to go down, it might not do it till next week, just because of that release and volatility needs to be sort of sussed out. Now, if the rate hike was 100 basis points, it would be, the guy probably would be fired. It would be just unprecedented. So it's extremely unlikely that it'd be 100 basis points. That would be only in the case of an incredible emergency regarding inflation, and we see no signs of that. So there's extremely small chance of that. You don't really need to think about that. But if that were to happen, bond rates and yields would go up, and it'd be even a better time to get bonds and U.S. Treasuries. The equity markets would decline and crash probably, and it just would be all hell would break loose, and everyone would flock to U.S. Treasury bonds. You might even see gold go up a smidge, the apocalypse currency, but probably not. The biggest reaction will probably be in bonds. Gold might react on war, but not necessarily on 100 basis point rate hike. It's likely to be 75. So think about that. Fermentize that in your head. Everything I just said, it's likely to be 75, release of volatility, grind up, but it may come with an initial drop in a half an hour to an hour to an hour and a half of lots of volatility. Overall, you're looking at all the lines, it might be trending up. So it's not going to be there's not like an easy trade there for you. You might be able to scalp a move, right off the initial decision. It might reverse and go the other way. So you need to be a scalper and understand how to do scalp trading at best if you got that. Otherwise, I will be talking about in the group and be posting my plan and setup for a delta neutral hedge, which would be a really cool way to play this. So throughout the day, we're going to find out what stocks are weakest on the day and what stocks are strongest on the day. I'll go in and verify that with the chart, long term, medium term, and short term, and get some weak and strong picks. And then you get a put in the weak ones and a call in the strong ones, or short one and long the other. And then whatever the Fed rate decision, however the market moves, You have the weak ones will drop on a bad market move, but will remain flat on a strong market move because they're so weak. And the strong ones will move up on an up market move, but will remain somewhat flat relatively on a down market move on bad news because they're so strong. And so you get one of each, and you make sure that they're balanced against how they'll move with the market using beta weighted delta hedging. And then you've got yourself a little hedge going into the Fed rate decision. If anyone's interested in that with me on constructing a play going into the Fed rate decision like that, I'll be posting it in the group, and let me know in the group, and we'll make sure that it's all clear for you there. All right, now over to the morning momentum movers. We've got FRZA, FRZA starting to move right now. And that'd be an entry at 235. It's now at 250. It's starting to move right now. And you have about 30 cents of risk you can put on that. Stop at 220 if it breaks down. 220. It's now at 246. That is moving. We're also watching Airbnb and AMD this morning. And I've got my eyes on CTSO to see if it does anything. It was hot earlier, but it's since almost completely faded. And lately, SONN has been moving. So maybe today we'll see some more movement on SONN. If anything, it goes from where it's at right now and tries to retest yesterday's high. So you have a good, 60 cents there for a potential play. I think that should be interesting. You could put your stop at a logical level and try and get a good risk reward setup out of that. Maybe a 5-to-1 on SONN. And who knows, maybe it goes even further, but you scale out at the top, profit target 1 at the top, 309. And there you go, SONN for some kind of a play that you could do this morning. All right, we've got about 3.5 minutes until the market opens. Oh, here's another thing I need to talk about. The market ain't going to do jack shit until that 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Fed rate hike decision. It will act like it, and you'll be like, oh my God, I've got to grab this. Shit's moving. It's a ploy. It's a manipulation. It's all just low volume manipulation. The market's just going to hold. The Asian and the London session were very tight ranged. There they are. There's the red box right there and the blue box right here. Those sessions very tight, lack of direction, back and forth, chop, 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 range, chop, chop. You don't want to trade that. You don't want to be in that today. Just wait for the big event. Trade that. Have some patience. All right. Let's watch the open. Where there is to be money had this morning and potentially is on these momentum movers, these small cap momentum movers. Yeah, I talked about gold. I did. Oh, you can rewind it. You can go to my YouTube and rewind. All right. FRZA settling into about 245 right now. You can get over that 250 level, acting like it wants to check out $2. So you got about, what is that, 30% gain potential there. 50 cents of upside with a stop at 225-ish. So 25 cents of downside. It's a 2-to-1. It's not the greatest right now if you were to enter now, but it's something. If there's a 33% chance in the long run, then it is positive EV. 1 minute and 50 seconds until the market opens. We'll see some momentum on these others. AMD may be a short back down to test the lows of 60. So it could go from 62, 63, where it is now, to 60. Maybe there's a short there. It could also go long. So watch for the pre-market high break at 63.80. Long on AMD. Airbnb could go either way. If it's going to crap out, the low pre-market was 98.50. So that would be an important breakdown. Grab puts on Airbnb at 98.50 breakdown. It could also retrace the gap. It has like $8 to retrace the gap. But from here with a stop at 100, about $2 or $3 of risk, it could retrace all the way to 111. And that would create about a 3-to-1 risk reward. All right, we've got 30 seconds till the market opens. Lots of plays out there that I've just mentioned. Let's go. $18 seconds. What is FRZA going to do? I'll fly to $2. I mean, $3. It's going to dump. You think you can get a better price? Well, let's see. Then buy the dip. All right, 253 on FRZA. 256, 259. It seems to be popping. It's losing some steam. CHGG, Chegg, up about $1 off of pre-market highs. FRZA, not pushing. It's at 255, a little bit of a pullback, selling. 257. It might be flushing out all the interested sellers. Seems to be meeting that supply, not dropping too hard. Maybe a worthwhile buy, certainly at VWAP at 235. Right now it's at 250. That could be a pullback in and of itself. Get a little bit of a closer view on that. Li Auto also moving quite strongly. Moved from about 1530 just now to about 1570. All right, we did get some pullback and a little bit of a pivot break at 243 over on FRZA. So I would get out and then wait to grab some at VWAP around 235. Unless it breaks the high, then it might move 260. But that breakdown is a little bit of a bearish sign at 242. Did get bought up almost right away, though. Should you buy FRZA call? I mean, if you're asking that, then no, you should never do anything. Wait until you know what you want to do. Okay, maybe you need to learn more, watch more, study more, because you'll see why. There it goes. FRZA breaking 260. That's that entry. That is definitely momentum. With a stop now at 240. So 20 cents of risk on FRZA. Stock market is not something you go and do if you don't know how to do it, contrary to a bunch of bullshit alert services out there. Our alerts do not tell you when to get in, where to get in, where to get out. We give suggestions. It's very rough. You need to be making those precision surgical decisions yourself. If I'm coaching you as a surgeon to be a surgeon, I can't tell you to cut the vein, 1/10 of a millimeter to the right of XYZ. You have to see it for your fucking self. You have to know what to do. The market is dropping. I would take this as nothing and potentially even buy the dip for it to reverse back up at some point. And you can just know when that's going to be. You can watch like the 15-second chart or the 10-second chart to see when deceleration is happening. The idea that there's going to be direction until 2 p.m. today is laughable. It's not. So this is a ruse. People buying puts, shorting this move right now are all going to be trapped by a rip up. I'm going to buy into that. Stop loss right underneath. That's moving the profit target more than I want it to move because we are going to rip up pretty fast when it goes. There we go. Could also go and make another low. You just never know when it might move. It's already made enough progress for me, almost around 50%, that I would move my stop to break even. How's FRZA going? Let's take a look. All right, it's just hanging out at 255. Going to get a ping pong rip up type of chopping, ranging action going on the market. Yeah, astrology. I know it seems like it, right? When you don't know anything about anything, it's like, it's just a bunch of squiggly lines. All right, now I'm going to put my stop underneath that last pullback area there. So that ensures some profit, and there, I'm out. That's fine. I got a little bit of profit at the bottom. Maybe I could get another entry if it pulls back to about here. Just scalping the market right now. All right, FRZA is looking like it's about to break a new high. Yes, there it goes, 268. Make sure you're taking profits underneath every 5-cent level. It feels like would be a good idea. Take about 5% of your position out underneath every 5% level. Maybe even 10% of your position out underneath every 5-cent level. Dude, last night, middle of the night, it was dark. I have the flashlight on my phone. I go over to my water cooler machine in the house, and it's totally dark. Apparently, somebody put the cat food little container thing, without a top on it, over there on top of it, right? So I didn't know, but the cat was on top of there, like licking the food, right? In the dark, right? And I come up behind the water cooler because it's near a post, and the cat doesn't see me, doesn't even see the light. It's so freaking loving the food. It's like, oh my God, I found the secret hoard of food. And it's just in a zone. It's in a zone, right? I come up beside it, and it's like, what the fuck are you? And it scratched me in the face instantly, like, and it runs away. And it ripped my glasses off, scratched me along the side of my face, ripped my lip open. I'm bleeding, and I'm laughing. I'm like, this cat was ridiculous. Cats are just so ridiculous. Like, I'm living with a goddamn lion. What the fuck? Anyway, so I'm healing from that. And my glasses, I couldn't even see, right? So I'm like looking around, couldn't even find them. They actually flew onto the table nearby, the dining room table, apparently. And this lens was like popped out. If if I didn't have my glasses on, I think I would have had my eye ripped, my eye scratched, because it was so fast. It was so instant. He's like, wow, what the fuck are you? Emotional damage. Totally. Anyway, FRZA, moving along. All right. We did not get a pullback entry for another long scalp here like I was hoping. So I'm canceling that order. And back to FRZA and others. Let's take a look at the rest of the momentum stocks. Yep, Lee Auto is still moving. 1582 broke pre-market highs a few moments ago. Sorry, did my internet stream just go down? I'm back now. AMD getting back towards highs, 6250. The AMD is basically tracking the market. AMD is just moving around. But see, people see this big move. They're like, oh shit, the market's going to bleed out. And the further it goes, the more people want to buy in that direction. It's the wrong idea. Always be in a move before it happens. Never take a move after it's started. Write that shit down. So here, if I am able to get a little bit of a pullback over here, I might take it. Otherwise, we're probably going to uh, make another low. Is a possibility here. Take a small gamble because the risk reward is worth it. It's about 5-1, so I only have to be right about 16% of the time in order for that to be a profitable trade, to grab a little bit of this, a little bit of an excess pullback, but not completely to the lows, and then it continues upward. So I'm kind of hoping that if it doesn't happen, That's fine. It's a little scalp trade right around there. So it's not encouraging that FRZA's kind of faded already. Meanwhile, LI Auto is testing 16. Airbnb is just settling right into 103. Doesn't want to go anywhere. Chegg broke 27 and is getting up to 27.75 now, almost 28. CHGG. That would have been beautiful. I just barely got stopped out for some gain, but I was targeting the complete move all the way back up to the retrace there for the ranging chop day. That's okay. A profitable failed exit is a good thing. It's a good day. Failures are profitable. Zone. Okay, AMD tested 63.40 and it pulled back. So I'm guessing the market did also. Yeah, the market's pulling. I wouldn't want any part of this pullback now. There's just too much. The risk is symmetrical. I don't want a 1-to-1 risk. I want a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 10-to-1, 2-to-1 minimum. Need a high probability for a 2-to-1 to be profitable, because 2-to-1 is not profitable if the probability is less than 33%. And so let's say the probability is 40%, you're working with a 7% edge. That's just not enough. Morning, Carissa. All the mics. We have lots of mics. Good morning. Right, at this point, yeah, I'm going to cancel my pullback buy, because it wouldn't be a pullback at that point. It would be continued downward move. In fact, I'm going to take that short right there, because that's a possible trade. The other side and target down at the bottom. That's a 2 for 1. Because we did get this lower low. I'm watching the 10-second chart here to get these little scalps. Not even 2 for 1. It's $42 of risk for $69 a gain. Yeah, I'm hoping to ratchet that up a little bit here in a second. A pronounced down movement. Now it's a 2-to-1, except it's still about a 50-50 chance. So 33% rate on a 50% chance. FRZA. still holding $2.60. Not ultra promising that it's behaving like this. I would scale out a lot, de-risk a lot, and just think about getting back in if something were to happen. If you get a break of new highs, or if we get a flush down to VWAP, that might be what's going to happen next. Or if you just want to hold, then make sure you adjust your pivots accordingly. About 240 still the stop. The way it's trading, I'm not feeling it very high probability that we're going to go test the low again. Maybe. Okay, after a strong move like that, oh, definitely I'm going to move my stop to at least break even. Kicked out of the trade for free, fine. Otherwise, the likelihood of me hitting that target now has gone up. That's good. Hootie is halted up. Somebody says Hootie, and the blowfish. Let's see. Tupperware's moving down. Remember, I said it might go to about 430. It's at 442 now. 439. Anybody grab the Tupperware TUP short that I mentioned? It was at $5. 430 was my guess of how low it could go. It looks like it's going to go lower potentially. Anyway, that trade's already moved. It's over. You're too late. Take it. And no, Hootie's too low volume, so we're not going to trade that. I got stopped out for break even. See that move back up? So that's fine. And it looks like we're just going to chop and range, chop and range. By the way, is Joe in here? Let's see. I think it was Joe. Joe, yeah. I think it was you, but it might have been somebody else. Anyway, we've been talking a lot about that imbalance area that was created a couple of days ago. I think it was on Friday. Is that you, Joe? We've kind of hyper focused on that imbalance area from Friday. That's now only like a couple of points away. We're basically, we've worked our way all the way back down. Oh, he's in class, I think. That imbalance back there on Friday, Joe, see that purple area? The imbalance from a couple of days ago. Remember we talked about how it can take a while sometimes, but look where we are. We're about to go right into it. So it happens. Can't necessarily predict when it's going to happen. It's useful to know that it's something that's kind of gravitationally attracting. All right, Joe, you can go back to your class. So, what's up? What program do I use? Public, but it's not the best. Yeah. I use a lot of different ones. Do you use your phone or do you use a desktop computer when you do your trading? Like, are you looking for a good mobile trading app or a good desktop trading situation? Because there won't be the same company. One will be better than another one, depending on what you want, what's best for you. Forex trading, that's yeah, you can do Forex trading. I trade some currencies, but I do trade it through futures or ETFs. Have both, but I use mostly phone. Okay. I think trade. Let's see. What are you trying to do again? What are you trying to trade? Stocks or the market? Be the best for him. Maybe Webull. And are you trading options or stock shares? Stocks. Okay, good. No, don't do that. I don't know what you're talking about there. I have both, but I use money in the fucking Weeble. I think Weeble probably is the right choice for you. Weeble. That's not Weevil. We bull, like we bullish. We bull. Webull. I give you a referral, but like I have to refer like 20 friends to make $5, so fuck them. Anyway, they're a good one. You can go with Weeble. Math teacher putting me to sleep. What are they teaching right now, Joe? I'll give you the answer. Whatever she's teaching, I will give you the answer to whatever equation she has on the board. Regressions? No, never mind. Fuck that. Actually, it's very useful, Joe. So you're taking a statistics class? Is that what's going on there? Nonlinear regression, freaking fantastic. Nonlinear regression, incredibly useful. Basically, curve fitting and then being able to do create an equation for statistical data and probability. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh God, I love nonlinear. That's probably not. Well, it might be. Might be part of what you're doing. What's the market going to do today? Nothing. It's just going to range all day, seriously. And then when the Fed occurs, it'll do something. You can go to my YouTube and listen. I just talked about it 20 minutes ago. Just rewind. All right, you guys, that's it for today because the market's just going to be kind of like flat all day. And just remember, any big moves are bullshit. And you can find the deceleration and take the reversals on them. Total bullshit. Just remember, there's absolutely no reason anyone would take any direction today. There's no direction going to happen. Any direction is total bullshit. Use that to your advantage. If you start to see some direction, you go, I know that this is a fake. This is a fake move. Grab the other side and, target 50% retrace, 75% retrace. Put a stop at the end of the move. Oh, scalp. All right. Thank you, guys. All right, let's move back into the group. I'm going to take my first break, and in a little bit, I'll start seeing what's the weakest and the strongest stocks, and then I'll formulate the two-sided hedge going into the Fed report for anybody who wants to play options like that or stocks. If you can short stocks. All right, see you then. Thanks, guys. We knew this morning would be like this. Don't trade if you don't have to. It's just going to chop you up and dice you up.